Good afternoon, everybody. How are you doing today? It's Hillary and Deb for another episode of the Ready, Set, Grow show. And today I am really kind of pumped and energized to be bringing this topic to you all today because one of the things that, a lot of entrepreneurs talk about is, well, once they've gotten over the limiting beliefs that we spoke about last week, they want to know what to do. So that's what we're coming to you with today. We're talking to you about how you can generate more leads and sales. And there's one step in this entire process in particular that a lot of people miss. Okay. And that is where you leave the sale. That's where the sale falls off. So we're going to talk about those. But today we're talking about those 5 things that you need to do to start generating more leads. Every business wants more leads and more sales. But you have to understand a couple things before you even start there. So, Deb, you want to kick us off?
Sure.
I just threw into the hot seat there.
I got to tell you, this woman is awesome. I absolutely love her. And I got to tell you, I told her to ship her 3 daughters to me and I would keep them for at least a week. Anyway, again, we learned some more tips in our challenge. And one of the questions was, who's your target? You know who you are talking to. You cannot be talking to everyone because then nobody will listen. But if you pinpoint your target, the person that you want to find their pains, you reach out and you discover a pain. And so therefore, that's my target. That who is going to listen to you. Exactly. So again, you're not talking to everybody. You are looking for that one particular person. And when I say one particular person, actually there's more than that one particular person that have the same pain. So that is your targeted audience. If you did not understand that before, that took me a while to understand that. It took me a while to decide who my avatar was. And then all of a sudden, one day it hit me. And so that's what you have to figure out first. Yes. It's not easy, but it's easier than what you think. It's easier than what I thought. So
yes, we spend a lot of time trying to figure out who is this target audience. And often every time you bring it down to who is the one person, and I like to think of it the way as who is the person that you want to wake up and go and serve every day? Who is the person that you want to provide solutions for their problem every day? And that's your target. And as you said, sometimes, yes, it's one person, but then that one person is actually multiplied in different ways, right? So you go after that. Yes, definitely. And then the second thing, as you touched on, was what's their pain? What are they struggling with most? What do they need? What is the solution? All right. You've got to know not only who they are, but what they're suffering with, right? It's like, when you go to a doctor, it's like, okay, you know who you are, all right? But the doctor needs to figure out, okay, am I speaking to a baby like 2 and under? So who's my patient, right? Think of it that way. Who's your patient? Is it a 2-year-old? Is it a 30-year-old? Is it a 60-something-year-old, male, female, right? And then what's their problem? Okay. What is the pain that they're suffering with? The pain, somebody who is 25 with back pain is going to be in a completely different category as somebody who's 75 with back pain. Okay. So you really need to know who it is and what are they suffering with. So you could say, okay, my product or solution is for back pain or for knee pain or whatever. Well, I'm sorry, the knee pains that I'm feeling right now are completely different to the knee pains that I was feeling when I was 15.
Right. So the thing is, it all boils down to questions. Questions are the key. You can never ask too many questions. You've got to get the information to figure out like Hillary said, the age difference is going to make a big difference in what kind of pain.
Mm-hmm.
So you just keep asking those questions and honing it down, honing it down. And that is going to help you figure out the pain that your person you are talking to has.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And then one of the strategies that, was shared with us is when you have figured out that you figured out your audience, you know what the pain is. There are other things that you need to do, but you need to figure out, are you doing free or paid strategies? Because we're talking here about lead generation, right? So we're talking about getting people to see what it is that you have to offer and get some form of contact information so that you could eventually follow up with them.
Mm-hmm.
The reality is you have to decide how you're going to do that. Are you going to do it free, right? Are you going to do it paid, or are you doing a combination, right? There are different strategic combinations that you can decide. Now, when we talk about free strategies, that takes a lot of time, right? I always tell people, pay me now or pay me later. All right. When it comes to business, it's one or the other. It's pay me now or pay me later. You pay either in time or you pay in dollars. Now, it doesn't mean that it doesn't have to be so black and white that you're using only free strategies or only paid strategies, but definitely pick one or understand what combination of them you're going to go with and then start implementing. All right. So if you're using free strategies, understand that the only way people are going to know you're in business is if you're putting stuff out there to let them know. Now, I'm not saying put out things, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, join my team, join my team. No, we're
Right,
talking about putting out valuable content. Now, if you're
right,
doing it free, you're going to have to be doing that very consistently and for a very long time. All right. Many people who've done the free method, I mean, before they spent a dollar in advertising, it could take as little as 5 years or as much as I'm saying as little, right? Because it's like we've been doing this for a while. So we're used
yeah,
to the time is no factor. We could do this for free forever, right? But yeah, you've got to know which of your strategies, and this is where I get a little social media junkie on everybody. Like, free is great for building, right? You don't have, a big bank account to give Facebook all your money, then yes, but you've got to show up every day. You've got to show up every day. You have to put out content, and whether that's video like Deb and I are doing, or whether it's blog content. I just wrapped up a lovely blog challenge. Didn't blog every day, but I still, because I was in the challenge, I was like reminded, okay, yes, gotta put up my blog, gotta put up my blog, right? But putting out content every day.
right, right. And the thing is, you can do a combination, and I have done a combination of free and paid, like
Mhm.
I'm sure Hillary has also. But she's right. You've got to be consistent. And when you pay, well, that just kind of face rhythm, Facebook, Facebook says, okay, you're paying me, so I'll throw this out to more people, as opposed to organic, which is free. You're just people, just happen to scroll and read. But the other thing too is you have to decide what platform you want. It can cost you a lot if you are paying for ads,
Mhm.
if you're doing it everywhere. But you
Exactly.
have to get good on one platform before you should start to stretch out.
Out. Exactly. Definitely. Right. And some of the ones that I know we've played with Facebook, Pinterest, and there's YouTube, your YouTube, Google ads, and all of those. So, but as Deb is saying, get good on one. All right. Fix a budget. All right. Make sure that you have a decent enough budget that's going to give you a little leverage, a little traction. And
Mhm.
again, when it comes to advertising, you got to be consistent because for most platforms, I wouldn't say all, but for most platforms, when you turn ad dollars off, you've basically,
Sorry.
that's okay. most ad platforms, when you turn the ad dollars off, you basically turned off your lead pool, your lead dripping, right?
Yeah.
So we'll just let old grandmother clock just
Oh, yes, yes. Sorry, sorry, I forgot to turn her off. And when I turn her off, I forget to turn her back
turn it back
on. And
on.
then I've got one of the weights that's down on the floor. That's all right.
Problem.
Um,
So that and coming into the fifth step. So we talked about four things so far. In case you didn't catch it, right? It's getting your targets audience, identifying their pains, deciding on your strategy. Are you going free traffic, paid traffic, or a combination? And you've heard that both Deb and I, we've done combination. The other thing is when you're doing the paid traffic, set a budget because
mhm.
the same applies with free as with paid. You've got to be consistent, set a budget, right? And make sure you're able to maintain that budget because when you turn off the ad spend, you're basically turning off your business. Um,
Yep.
so the last thing is where the sale happens. And this, I think, is so crucial that in our digital age, and I don't even have my phone here, which is great, but in the digital age that we're in, we forget that the sale happens exactly where we started with the people. All right. And you can't close a sale without the human to human conversation, without the human connection. You could
Yeah.
automate everything. You could automate everything, but a true sale, and especially high ticket sales, happen when there's a human to human conversation. And we
Hmm.
had a perfect example of this. um in the challenge, but it goes to show that one of the things that maybe younger, I'm going to say, I mean, I'm young, but younger entrepreneurs kind of get tripped up on because they're born into the Texan era, they're born into the technology era.
Yeah.
And if you're doing business on Facebook, you're doing it on LinkedIn, wherever, you could get kind of caught up in the technology and forget that it's another human being sitting across from you that's about to, you know,
Right. And a lot of times, what that means is there is no human to human that you can, and what you've done technically is, as they say, gotten commission breath. All you're looking at is the sale. You don't want to continue this relationship. I just want the sale. I just want the sale. They can see that. They can feel that. That's why you have to do the human to human at the very end, because they, first of all, and I'm assuming, well, it doesn't matter if you do it on a phone.
Mhm.
A lot of people are doing Zooms now,
Yeah,
which we can see their faces. And that's what's good about the lives.
yeah,
They can see who you are, they can hear your
your
voice,
voice.
and they can start to like you quicker. And when they like you, then they trust you.
Hmm.
So, but however you do it, it's got to be human to human. It cannot be text. It cannot be a messenger. It's got to. It can't be automated. It's got
Yeah.
to be human in order for them to really know that you care about them.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. And that is where, the crux of the sale comes in because you could generate leads doing a whole lot of things. All right, you do lives, you do social posts, all of those are leads. But then when the sale, when you're ready to convert to a sale, you've got to have that human connection and be
Mhm.
real, be honest with people, and don't be so as Deb said, don't have that commission breath. All right, because if all you're after is the sale, so like I'll give a perfect example. Yesterday I was searching online for children's mask, right? Because I want to get some more for the kids. And the reality is, I'm going through and I came across a Facebook page, nicely set up and everything. They've got all their stuff in Messenger. So I clicked on one of the questions that they have set up and I got the response. And then somebody live came on and I was like, oh, great. Right. But as soon as they came on, their first question was, how many do you want to order? No, I know you're a business. I asked a question about your product, But the first question, because you could tell when it switched from the bot to the human being, right? They said good morning, and then the next question was, how many do you want to order? And I was just like, whoa, okay, that's not where I thought this was going, because
Mm-hmm.
thought I was speaking to a human. At first I thought, okay, maybe it's not a human, maybe it's a bot. But then when I responded, they responded immediately again, and they, very human, but not human at the same time. Because
Right,
all they
right.
were after was taking an order. They were ready to take an order without even finding out, what am I truly looking for? All
Mm-hmm.
right. So I asked the questions and they would give the answers. Now, again, if you're the salesperson, you ask the questions. Don't just say, okay, I'm ready for your credit card information. You'll never
Right.
get it.
No, no. Yeah, there's nothing more that turns me off than somebody who is acting. Well, I'm sure there's some good car salespeople out there, but they get a bad rap. But you know that they are just out. But if they spend time to get to know you and you can really feel the genuineness of them, other than, okay, just slam bam, thank you, ma'am.
Mhm.
No, I'm sorry. I want somebody who wants to pay attention to me. I mean, we can be egotistical in something like that. Okay, this sale is about me. This is what I want. You pay attention to me, and if you don't, I'll find somebody that will.
Yeah, that will. Exactly. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. So, in closing, you've got to close. To close sales, you've got to close with the human being. All right. So, I hope you've gotten some great value. Share this with your friends, especially those who, maybe you've seen them doing some things like what we haven't been talking about,
Yeah.
selling to everybody. All right. It's like I remember, everybody needs your product. Everybody has skin, or everybody could breathe, or everybody has hair. And I'm just like, okay, right. And then I remember walking into a room where somebody asked me, how would you sell a comb to a bald guy? And I was like,
It
I'll
can
sell it
happen.
to his wife.
Yeah, it can happen.
Right.
If you are showing interest, paying attention to that person, the bald person would buy the comb.
Goodbye. Right. Yeah. Because if you ask the right questions and you knew, all right, asking and getting to know them, you would get to know that, okay, well, he doesn't need the comb, but maybe his kids need the comb, or maybe, and that is how you
Yeah.
get the sale. All right.
Yep.
That is how, by getting to know the people. So
Yep.
that's our message. That's our closing message for you today. Getting people to know the sale. Next week, we've got a special interview. I'm going to be interviewing Madam Deb over here. Oh, Deb is on this side. All right. Very special week next week. Next week is actually my birthday week. So I've got something special lined
Oh,
up for the whole week. And Deb is going to be a spotlight interview next week on our Tuesday show. All right. So look out for that. I am going to be we're bringing the heat next week, apart from which next week is also another challenge. So if you are interested in going through this challenge, there are many opportunities for you to go through the challenge and actually be able to earn a little bit from it if you go through it.
right.
You can reach out to either Deb or myself to get more information. We'll schedule a call with you to see if it's a right fit for you. All right, because not everything's a right fit for everybody, as we just said. All right.
That's right. That's right.
So Deb and I will share with you. You reach out to us, send us a message, a private message, and we'll connect with you to let you know more about the challenge. All right. Have a great day,
Yes.
and I'll talk to you soon, everybody.
Bye.